Hi, everybody. It's Debbie Mirza, the author of The Covert Passive-Aggressive Narcissist, and I'm here for the first time with a special guest who's a really good friend of mine. Her name is Kathryn Lucatelli. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
you got it. I know, we're first name basis.
I know, I
Yeah.
never say your last name. Yeah.
You got it.
But she is, a beautiful person, and she has experienced both covert and overt narcissism in her life. So she has a background. I mean, she gets it. Yeah. And then I think I want to ask you what you do, because she helps people with several things, really. Mm-hmm. But if you want to explain what it is you do, because she's going to help impart. Well, I'll have her explain who she is, what she does, and then I'll tell you what we're going to be talking about today.
Perfect. Okay. Yeah, so my love is mentoring women who are highly sensitive. Some people call that empaths. Some people don't identify with that, but know that they're highly sensitive. Women who are spiritually oriented, and I really work with them to live powerfully within their own truth. So that covers a lot of different aspects, but that's kind of the best way I can nutshell it.
Yeah, and it's so good because, as you know, a lot of people who end up with narcissists are very sensitive people, very empathic people. And for instance, I was thinking one of the traits is that they give you the silent treatment as part of control and manipulation. Mm-hmm. And that to an empath is just hell. You know, when someone gives us the silent treatment, our mind just goes crazy as maybe I should have said this, maybe I shouldn't have said this. Did I do this? Did I affect him or her this way? You know, so, and I'm sure a lot of you relate to that. So today we had talked about one of the most difficult things with a narcissist is really getting to what the truth is, because they'll speak to us in a way that sounds very convincing, but everything in our body is telling us otherwise. So what do we know is true? Yeah. So Kathryn and I were talking beforehand about how another thing about being a narcissist is you can get such heightened emotions around them, and after being around them, or even just getting an email from them or a text message or something like that. And those are the times where it's really hard to see clearly. So I'd love for you to share what you, how you help people when they're in those heightened emotional states. How do you help them get to their truth?
Sure. No, that's such a good question, and it has a lot of layers. And before I get into answering that question, Debbie, I just have to say how important and powerfully impactful your work has been. I'm a long time out of the intensity of the relationships that I experienced, and you give language to the dynamics at play that even now I'm getting new insights, and it has been such a help, and I have recommended and given your book to so many clients and friends, and I'm so grateful. So this is just, it's really special to be here contributing a few more tools that build on your work that can be of help to people. So I'm just so grateful. Yeah, so it is a challenging situation, as we all know. It is by nature destabilizing, decentering. So the first thing that I really want to say is just the importance of having this incredible compassion and mercy for ourselves as we go through these situations. I think we're all looking for the thing of like, what is it that I can do? Like in the moment when my emotions are heightened and it's getting slippery and I don't know what's going on, like I need a tool that I can just, pop myself out of it. And the truth of it is, if we were 100% centered, if we were 100% safe within our own selves, if we had clarity, we would not be in those situations.
Yeah, true.
And so, it's this, I'm almost seeing it as this, like, this gradual process of getting more and more clear and centered within ourselves and making sense of what has happened. So I love, Debbie, what you talk about in your book, in all of these videos, of trusting the truth of your body. So fundamentally important. And knowing that you are worthy of love. And these are really the primary things that I address with the people that I mentor. How do you know the truth of what's going on? And how do you cultivate a loving atmosphere within yourself? It's foundational. It's foundational.
It's huge. Yeah.
So one of the primary things that I teach, just as you have talked about, Debbie, and I think it's brilliant, of somebody is saying something nice to you, but boy, your stomach is clenching.
Yeah.
Right? Pay attention to that, because your body is brilliant and it is intelligent and it is telling you the truth. I teach people how to have that feeling translate into a physical sign that your body is giving you. So whether that is you are standing up and you ask a question and you notice if you lean forward, you notice if involuntarily you lean back, and that can kind of translate to your yes and your no. Yeah.
Would you say that's all? So maybe give an example of a time where you would use that and how that would look.
Sure. And so you can get even subtler with it. So for me, my sign is, I say, show me 100% yes, and my finger just buckles out. It is, many of you may have heard of muscle testing. So it's the mechanics of muscle testing, but within a broader context of asking any question of your heart. So for instance, there are, when we're in these relationships, we get messages and messaging about ourselves, right?
Yeah.
And so it is not only untangling the truth of those acute situations, but it is that abuser then lives within your own head.
Right.
And it takes time to get to the truth and untangle the lies. So for instance, one of the things that was really challenging for me, and I imagine challenging for others, is that feeling like I was told I was lazy. And so, right?
Which is such a common, I was too. It's such a common thing. If you were told you were lazy, you're along with millions of other people like us.
That's right. That's
who are
right.
Nothing but lazy, but
Right. Lazy and really at fault for the unraveling of the relationship, for the challenges and the difficulty in the relationship. And being a person that's like, I want to look honestly at this.
Yeah. Am I?
Yeah. Right. It's a question.
Yeah.
So for me, these healing questions in that moment. So this isn't like in the heat of the moment, but by myself in these quiet times where I will then, ask of energy. I say, is it true that I am a lazy person?
Yeah.
And my finger does not move. And because I have practiced doing this, I have it. It's like the information comes in the back door and affects me on a cellular level. And I think, wow.
So what would happen? Do something where it's a lie. I definitely have naturally red hair, which I don't. So then what would I look for?
Yeah, so for me, in this instance, the no is just standing straight. So I say, show me 100% no, it's straight. I say, show me 100% yes, and I get that buckling out. It's wild, yes.
And I want to explain to them, too,
yes.
in case you've never been through this. I've been to chiropractors and different naturopaths who will muscle test if magnesium is what your body needs. And you'll literally hold a pill against your stomach and then they'll push it down to see if it goes weak or to see if it stays strong. Your body actually knows if it wants that or not. And so the same goes with truth about yourself. Your body will stay strong, right, when it's telling the truth, and it'll go weak when it's lying.
That's right.
So this is fascinating because I haven't done that, but I've heard of the like forward yes, backwards no. Yeah,
exactly. So many people know this in the context of naturopaths and chiropractors. Right. They don't realize it's something that they can do for themselves.
Yeah.
You know?
To help you get to the truth.
Yeah. So, you know, is it true that I am to blame? I am the cause of the problems in that relationship? No.
It's staying. It's not buckling. Yeah.
Right. And it comes in such a like reassuring, you know, and then it's even these questions of like, you know, am I worthy of love? And it's like, I mean, it's like, and if I were to lean, it's like my whole body goes forward. And to just have that felt experience of like, yes, I am worthy of being loved. It changes everything, and it is such a reassurance. Yeah.
I do the standing up. Do you do it standing up, or can you do it sitting down? Does it still work?
I find it's most effective for me standing up, because you're just sort of like at this point where you could go back, you could go forward, you know, there's just, you've got sort of more of a pivot situation. But everybody, when you listen into how does your body receive truth? My clients have all kinds of different things that they do. Right. So this is right. So the framework
what works for you.
That's right. Kind of. That's right. But the important part is that there is a tangible sign that, like, even if I didn't tell you what my answer was, you could see it. You know, because we get so locked in to what we already know. Right? So totally. Even if new information comes in, we're very susceptible to translating it through what we already know.
Right. Our already formed beliefs.
That's right.
May or may not be true.
That's right. But if so many times I will ask a question, I'm like, I think I already know. I know it's going to be this.
It is.
But it's the opposite. It'll be the opposite. And then it's like, oh. And those are the moments that like reconfigure my insides, because I'm getting access to a truth that my current perception was preventing me
from seeing.
Yes.
I have one more question about the yes or no. Do you put it in question form or a statement, like, I am worthy of love, and then you see if you go forward or back, or am I worthy of love, and you see if you go forward or back?
You know, I switch between
You do both.
Yep.
Okay, that's good to know.
I do both. So this it's something that as you practice and you start to get confidence in the answers that you're getting, and I encourage people to have fun with it in the beginning, because we're tempted to like ask the big questions. Do I stay or do I go? Do I quit or do I persevere? Right. The big questions. But we really gain the trust and the confidence in the tool by just playing with it. And you can use this for anything. What do I eat? What do I wear? Do I go to this? Do I not? And so this is really the crux of what I mentor people around: how to ask the questions, how to have a conversation when I get stuck or I'm unclear of the answer. But it is such a profound skill to be able to ask all of the questions of your heart, to know nothing is too small, too mundane. Like, it is like the creator, the forces of the universe, like, see you so tenderly and compassionately and want to bring clarity to every aspect of your life.
Now, what about, I had like a question just right there. And then it went. I was going to make a statement. Sometimes I'll start with something really simple, like, my name is Bob.
Yep.
My name is Debbie, to kind of get your body like, oh, okay, we're doing this.
Right.
Just thought of that.
Totally. Of like just really obvious things. So you can start with the obvious.
Yeah.
And, I have 3 different videos that are on my website that are, just up there for free for anyone who is curious about this tool. And there's a workbook that goes along with it that starts you out of just the obvious basic things and how to grow your skill a little bit deeper. So that's available to folks.
And I'll put her website on the comments underneath.
Perfect.
I wanted to ask you, do you think working with empathic people, sensitive people, what's the difference as far as us getting to truth versus someone who is not?
Really good question.
Yeah.
Really good question.
Yeah.
So we feel so much. We feel so much. And it can be hard to be centered within our own truth because right outside of our center is everybody else's stuff and it feels like ours. So it's sort of like that distinction between what is mine and what is somebody else's is really the primary skill that empaths need to gain, to have good boundaries, to see clearly, to get to access their own truth. So one of the things that I was really seeing that empaths were needing a little bit more foundation before just diving into this, what I call energy checking.
Yeah.
And so what I have found is that many of us are very familiar with the concept of grounding.
Right,
we're familiar with that. And even to some extent, the concept of shielding. And we've heard about the idea of centering. And for me, the idea of like, okay, get centered was this like conceptual idea that like sounded lovely.
Right.
But what does that mean?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
And it was only recently that I had this experience of being centered in my core. And it changed so much for me. It was like, oh, that is me. That is home.
Yeah.
That is the seat of my truth, the creator within me. And
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah. And so I have put together this guided meditation that guides you through an experience of grounding, that moves you into an experience of centering. I've also included some further exercises if you go through the meditation and are still like, I don't know if that is it. Once you have found it, you can easily return to it.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And that's all on your website too.
Yes.
Good.
Yes. So there's a meditation that we can
That's
direct
awesome.
people to. But it's so interesting because I was learning that normal people ground, center, and shield as a matter of course, just naturally. And empaths don't.
Oh, interesting.
So it's something for just our own care and sanity that we need to do. And once we have our center, once we have this feeling of being grounded, we've placed shields, and I teach a kind of shield that is dynamic and specific just for empaths. So when you are in a situation where it is crazy making and you are so susceptible to narcissistic thoughts being projected onto you, you can take this layer and expand and give yourself all the protection that you need so you are within your own energy field.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh my gosh, it is so helpful.
Yeah. I'm really happy that you're sharing this because I had one client especially that was like, what do I do? I have these interactions with her and I just get so heightened emotionally and so flustered and I don't know. So I'm really happy that you have somewhere to go. And again, I'll put our website at the bottom or under the video.
Right. So that I would say in the moment, that is like the best tool. Just like just puff it out. Puff it out. Like that's a great in the moment tool. But then it's really in those alone moments where you can start unraveling the truth. And every question you ask, every piece that you unravel, no, that is not true. That has been projected onto me. This is the truth about me. And you get that reflected back in a way that impacts you cellularly. And it's like, you know that you know that you know. It's not just an idea, but you know it. You bring that strength and that clarity with you into your next interaction. You're able to make different choices. You're able, so it's that gradual process, or even realizing like, I will no longer have contact with this person.
Right.
But then you are able to, through these questions and through cultivating an atmosphere of love within yourself, live the truth of who you are and heal those wounds.
Yeah, I love that. I love how you explained that. Yay. See why she's a good friend.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, I'm so grateful for you. She's, Kathryn, it's so important to have friends like this where I just feel like I can be at any place and go to her and I'm safe, and she just gets it. Yeah. Every part of me is okay with you. Right?
That's,
huge.
Thank you for saying that. And it is, it's what I wish for me, and it's what I wish for all of you, that all of you is safe with every part of you.
Right.
Because
yeah.
we get so, we have just said, we've just taken on those projections.
Yeah.
And I wanted to mention, I love the piece that you talked about, Jane Fonda's advice.
Oh, yeah.
I love this of Jane Fonda was saying her relationship advice, that she's like, here's like the what you have to have, the essentials. Top three. Yeah. You have to have somebody that sees you, somebody that celebrates you, and someone that you are emotionally safe with. And I love that, because in my own journey with this, it has been me becoming that to myself, seeing me, celebrating all of the things that I have gone through, and being a person who is emotionally safe to myself.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah. The safest place possible.
Yes. Yes. I am telling
That's
you.
the title.
I am telling you. Your work, Debbie, is like so important.
Yours too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you for watching. And I'd be delighted to share with you these tools. And you can access them on my website right below.
Yay! You guys take really good care of yourself, and I will talk to you soon.